Just back from a haul. I just purchased a whole bunch of stuff for $100 on Facebook Marketplace. And there's an item in here that everybody misses that can get you some good money that didn't cost me a single solitary dime with this purchase. We find them all the time and it's made us thousands of dollars throughout the years. Hey, it's Don. I'm just back from Facebook Marketplace haul. I just purchased a whole bunch of stuff for $100. And there's an item in here that everybody misses that can get you some good money that didn't cost me a single solitary dime with this purchase. We find them all the time and it's made us thousands of dollars throughout the years. There was an ad posted on Facebook Marketplace. It showed assortment of 78 records. And I know a lot of people don't like messing with 78 records, but to be honest with you, we've made far more and have sold way more 78 records by sorting these sorts of things than we have of any of the other size, speed, or any type of other records that we sell. And I've got a ton of records in inventory. But with pickups like this, there's something that everybody always misses. The person we purchased these records from wasn't thinking at all about one aspect of what was with the records. And that's a big plus for us because many times we're able to make a ton of extra money and actually pay for the lots in many occasions without even selling the purchase by what they gave us with the lot, what the lot was stored in. And this goes for pretty much anything you buy. You have the same type of opportunity to do this. This is a missed item, something most people don't have a clue on or don't think about when they're out there. Without even touching the purchase, I already have an offer on something that I showed to a friend for a value on it. And we're going to show you what I'm talking about right here and something that I hope you won't miss again going forward. Now, here's part of the haul that I picked up the other day. And the biggest thing that most people miss is what the haul is sitting in. What you see right here is a wooden crate. And I didn't think much of it until I looked around to the sides of it and examined everything sitting there in the gentleman's garage where I purchased this from. And I instantly realized that, hey, man, this might be worth something straight off the bat, the crate that he has this stored in. I quick question to him, hey, man, are all these, here? Do I need to have some boxes? Do we need to take it out? Or do you need to keep any of these? No. You can have everything that came in, which was perfectly fine. Now, the biggest factor with this one here is that this is from Sears. As you can see, this is a Sears box. Not only that, it has some markings on the inside saying, do not discard, it's here to be reused. It's very heavy. It's extremely well built, probably for some type of farming equipment or some expensive something that they sold. Now, I sent a photo of this to a couple of people that I know that are far more into Sears and, this sort of thing, larger items. I don't mess with much of these, to see what they thought about it. If you want to see a sneak peek of the actual purchase, all the records I got, stay to the very end of the video. I have a nice little clip of my vehicle full of this exact stuff here from the pickup that we had. But I was actually offered $75 for this box, from somebody I know. And if they're offering me $75, it's probably worth more than that, I would have to say. I'm going to hang on to it for right now because it's a unique piece. It actually has it on both sides, so it does say Sears on the other side. So I paid $100 for the records. There's quite a few really good records in there. There's, value-wise, there's a ton of value in there. Don't mess with this sort of stuff. I'll give you a warning real quick if you're not willing to learn how to pack it correctly. But if you can learn to pack this stuff correctly, you're going to make a ton of money. I don't know how many times we've bought and got crates like this. And this is another crate that's for records. These I can sell for $30 locally all day long to people that I deal with right now, where they're going to turn around and sell them for $45 to $50, which I'm fine. I don't have to deal with anything. I don't have to ship it. Off they go, and it's out of my way, out of my hair right off the bat. So these items were just thrown in. On average, I get maybe 10 or 15 of these every couple months. Multiply that times 25 to $30 depending on the condition, and that's extra free money given to me I didn't pay a dime for it, given to me with the haul that I picked up. And I always try to get whatever they're stored in if it's good stuff like this. This is just a real quick example of things like this. Now, it doesn't even have to be a wooden box or a crate or anything else like that. Obviously, those sorts of things do extremely well. But we've purchased things and they've been in like record boxes from Decca, from Capitol, original ones from the 30s, the 40s, the 50s. If you've watched my videos or checked out my Patreon page, you can find all sorts of things like this that I've picked up. I do the sleeves, all that kind of stuff is valuable. Even if there's no records in some of the album cover's good. But the boxes and crates are stuff that I just love finding because it's freebies. It's something that the person I'm buying from didn't really hold a value to, but for me, I have a customer base, a clientele that'll buy certain things like these wooden items from me. And in some cases, I've acquired these sorts of crates, but what was on the side of the crate, and this may have been one of them that's been removed, but maybe old Peaches, the record store Peaches label on the side, and those you can get 50 or 60 bucks for. The person I sell it to can probably sell it for 80 to 90 bucks locally at a record shop and places like that. So there's a big market for things that you may not consider valuable. Again, an old cardboard box. We've picked up boxes of oil cans, well, minus the oil can, but a box that would have held oil cans. Those oil can boxes don't show up very often, whether they're wood ones, whether they're cardboard ones. We've picked up huge assortments of haul items shoved in old beer 6-pack cardboard boxes. So all that sort of thing carries a value. Again, these are things that most people don't consider valuable and are usually just throw-ins to when we do big purchases like that. So in this case, with no pun intended, thinking outside of the box is the biggest aspect here. When I'm looking at a haul item or something on Facebook Marketplace, or God forbid these days you ever find anything on Craigslist, I'm looking at what's there too. I actually asked about other items for sale and things like that that I could potentially have bought as well. But the boxes and the crates are something I find all the time. It's something you usually have to ask for because many times they'll want them, but if they're getting rid of the records, usually they don't have a place for the crates. And if it's a deal breaker and you don't happen to have any other way to carry them out of there or whatever the case may be, they're almost always just going to end up giving you the crates just to get them out of their way, get the money for the purchase and the whole works. So don't just think about the records themselves. Look at what they're in, because most people don't think about stuff like that. They'll let them, keep the crates or whatever, not thinking that those crates might get you 25 or 30 bucks for the cheaper ones, up to 50 or 60 or even 90 if you have an outlet for them and you have the time to run around and mess with them. Or like with the Sears box, that Sears crate there is, again, a nice item for someone to already have offered me 75 bucks for it. It's a big piece. It weighs a ton on its own. The records you see in the crate, I actually put in there after I sorted out the other ones. That thing was heavy as can be, and it needed two of us to get into my vehicle as well as to get it out of the vehicle. And the box itself weighs about 20 some odd pounds on its own because it's some very solid wood with reinforcement. So it's a constructed box. It's a display piece as well for somebody who collects and likes old Sears items. Sears Roebuck is well collected. Most of the boxes too, I did look on eBay for stuff like that. There's smaller boxes for say like 12 gauge shotgun shells or 22 long rifle shells or something like that. Old wooden crates, small, not a big, huge, massive thing like that is. It may be worth way more than that. It may be something that's, scarce. But either way, I figure it's worth at least what I paid for the entire purchase. Not to mention that the purchase itself is probably going to net us a couple $1,000 in profit. If you want to see a sneak peek of the purchase itself, as I said earlier, stick around to the very end of the video and you'll see my vehicle just full of hundreds and hundreds of records. That's the $100 purchase that came in, and you can actually see that Sears crate in the back of my vehicle loaded up with the other records. So I can sell the valuable records out of this purchase. I can take a bunch down to the local antique auction and let somebody else deal with auctioning off, and whatever I get is fine because my profit's already there because the box itself is worth 75 to 100 bucks just for that Sears wooden box. So again, pay attention, think outside the box, and you can make a ton of extra money and have a ton of merchandise for very little, if not nothing. And at this point, I really have nothing into it other than my time and a little bit of gas to go pick this up. But anyway, that's what I have for you today. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button down below. You can also hit the bell icon to be notified if I post new content or go live. Subscribe and tell all your friends.
Sensation of Kellogg's Corn Pop cereal. Golden nuggets of corn popped up sweet and light. A popping great part of this nutritious breakfast.
So once again, I'm back from another haul. This is another Facebook Marketplace 78 record haul. And as you can see, I got quite a few. There's probably a good 1,000 records or so in here. He listed it for $250. He marked it down to $100, and that was his bottom line on it. I've got more in there. There's two 78 albums in here. There's two of these.